And we are live.
Evening, everyone. Sorry, we're a little bit late today. Some things came up at the last minute that had to be taken care of, but we're here now. Most of us, anyway. Zoro is out today, but Sabir's a warlock, so we'll have someone else hit the Eldritch Blast button for her. How's everyone doing? It's been a few weeks for this show.
Yeah.
Good.
Ready to see what happens with this ritual.
Yeah.
More fog.
This ritual has taken a day for the characters, but it's taken a little over a month now for us.
Yeah, it's in game. It's been like we're about to hit the 14th hour, I believe, but like out of game, yeah, it's been like a month.
It's just, you know.
But I mean, before that, you guys had like a month, almost a month and a half of just RP sessions. So now you've had like a month of battle sessions.
I mean, this is true.
Yeah. And having a month
I
of RP
guess.
sessions, I'm surprised we made it that long.
Yeah, there were some decisions in there that really took you guys out of the path of some big battles that were waiting for you. And then now some decisions that have led you right into some big battles. So I guess we'll just jump right into it because it has been, like I say, a late start. So a few weeks ago, the session that we played started off with you guys battling against two medium-ish sized black smoky drakes that were coming your way. The battle didn't last too long. There was a fairly clever play, I would say, from Xena during that battle to pull one of the drakes down out of the air and keep it within melee range. It was a great play, and I think it made up for her earlier one of throwing her lightning javelin off the side of the mountain.
Forgot about that.
Tear.
After
Someone's
dispatching
got located
these
object, right?
drakes, yeah, just go down the mountain and wander around trying to locate object. You'll find it eventually, I'm sure.
Fine. Everything's fine.
After 30 more fights.
You eventually did dispatch these drakes and noticed that it was slightly odd that when killed, they simply turned into a puff of black smoke when they died, rather than leaving an actual body. There was some discussion and investigation in regards to that. Some theories were formed, and during your brief moment of rest after the fight, you also discovered that the healing that Reen was giving you was a direct transference of her own life to you guys, making her weaker in the process. After discovering that, there was a fair bit of healing that was given back to her, and Yixis proceeded to set up a tiny hut to provide everyone with a bit of protection while they rested. It was a very good thing that he did that, because soon after, a massive, like 15-foot diameter boulder came flying from the tree line, striking the barrier of the tiny hut and dealing no damage to anyone because of that. The next battle began almost immediately after, as the two most useless stone giants I've ever seen came bumbling out of the trees. One of them took a page out of Xena's book and, after a botched roll, threw his weapon clean over the side of the mountain. After several missed swings from the would have otherwise been hard-hitting giants, they were felled, and the group once again had a moment to recover. One that Xena took as an opportunity to get a few minutes of sleep, as she passed out almost immediately after. And Breen informed Yixis that she would be needing his help very soon. It was also during this time that Xerax began to notice the area around your camp had gotten unnaturally quiet. And soon enough, everyone began to notice the black smoke that had enveloped your surroundings, whirling around you as though you were almost in the eye of a storm of darkness that has dogs in it, apparently, if you can hear that barking. A pair of very large red eyes darted around within the smoke, observing each one of you before their voice called out, saying to all of you that could hear it, "It's been so long since your kind settled on these hills." And that's where we're going to pick up today.
Do I wake up?
Oh, yes. Yeah. You were awoken by the whirling of this smoke surrounding the camp and the somewhat panicked alerting that Xerax did once he noticed exactly what was going on.
Okay, and we hear that voice in our minds, or is it like out loud?
It seems to be coming from all around you.
Okay. Xena's gonna get up, grab her axe, and kind of look around and shout and challenge. Only cowards stay in the shadows.
We are the shadows.
Xena's gonna look at the rest of the group, very confused.
Zara's just going to shrug, looking around.
Xena's gonna try to chop Shadow.
Yeah.
Gonna go up
Okay.
to wherever the edge is and try to chop it.
You approach the swirling shadows and swing your weapon through it. And much like when your physical weapons were hitting those drakes from the earlier battle,
Mhm.
it kind of moves right through the shadow, leaving a brief trail of smoke behind it. But you don't feel actual physical contact happening.
I continue.
Okay. While Xena is attacking the shadows, what is everyone else doing? Yixis, what are you doing?
Can I do an Arcana check?
Sure. What type of information are you looking for here?
Like, if I can tell what this is, if it's some sort of illusionary spell, or if it's some weird form of not mending, sending. That'd be a really weird form of mending.
Would be.
Let's see here.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and give me that Arcana roll.
Meanwhile,
Or maybe this actually is a creature of shadow.
in
we
the
shall see.
background.
Ah!
Xena, I don't think it means it's literally the shadows.
It's a 19.
19. Okay. With that, you can certainly determine that the shadow that you're seeing all around you is not an illusion. It is actually there. And it seems to be generated by some magical means. So much in the way that, like, say, a fog cloud would be created. This is being created by similar type of magic. And the eyes and voice most likely belong to the creature that is generating this black whirling smoke.
Xena, that's not really there.
Yeah.
It really isn't there.
It said it was the shadow. It's got to be in here somewhere. Coward.
It's a spell, like an illusion. Oh, okay.
Xena, stop before you wear yourself out before the thing before it shows itself.
Xena huffs, snarls, turns around, does a little like kicky thing where she kicks dirt into the shadow a little bit with her legs, and then
My
walk
dog
back
does
over
that
to
to
the
me
group.
all the time when I'm outside with him. It's really annoying.
Yeah, you know exactly
Kind of
what
insulting.
it is. Exactly. That's what she's doing. And then walks back to the group.
Barry, you right here with the start.
Yixis will kind of out towards the forest. I think there's been a little misunderstanding. We don't want to stay here. We're just trying to help our friend, and then we'll leave.
You bring light to my mountain of shadow. Why?
Again, we'll be gone.
The sun brings light too. You're gonna get mad at that?
It does not while I am around.
So go in a cave. It's real dark there. Sure, there's somewhere. Help you find one if you want.
Darkness is wherever we go.
Oh wow, this guy, right?
Isa, what are you doing while your companions are mocking this very obviously powerful creature?
Okay, Xena is
She's
particular.
like,
Yeah, I was
yeah,
like,
come on.
don't
Keep
throw us
going.
into this.
You're all in this together.
That's all this is mocking a big creature.
Yeah, what an edgelord, right?
Yixis was saying we'll be out of your hair soon. Just
I mean, Isa was nodding along with Xena when she's like, "For the sun brings light." She was thinking the same thing. Sun brings light.
I mean, right?
I mean, it was sunny when we got here.
Give me a perception check, Isa.
What's this guy's problem?
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna be able to do that. Perception is an 11.
On 11? Okay, yeah, I mean, the DC was 10. It was literally just to
Okay.
look around. While thinking, yeah, the sun brings light, you're looking around and you realize that the light from the ley line that Green has been connected to this whole time, and the light from the stars and the moon in the sky is not there at the moment. This dark smoke, this dark shadow that has enveloped the area has really gotten rid of all the outside light.
And you got rid of our light, just like you got rid of the sun's light, so I don't see why there's a problem here. Oh.
Yixis, whereabouts are you standing? Is the map accurate at the moment?
do, 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 do.
Where would the shadow be? Is it just everywhere?
Yeah, it's basically the entire perimeter of this map.
Like over here, like around where the bushes are and stuff is all shadow?
Yep.
Okay, then she was there and then probably backed up to like right there.
And yes, Yixis would be standing about where he is on the map because he's waiting for Reen to say she needs him.
Okay, so as you are standing there, you notice that some of this smoky shadow begins to creep along the ground towards you. Not straight at you, but more to a space kind of in front of you. And it begins to twist and turn as it moves forward, taking the shape of a large clawed foot, and then another, and another, and another. And it begins to take this physical form. And by the time it reaches you, it almost solidifies into the scaled flesh of a massive, black, smoky, dragon-like creature with large, glowing red eyes. Leans down, looks right at you. Greetings.
Oh,
Oh,
great.
no.
Another one.
Hi.
I oh no. There's what I as a player want to do, and there's what Xena would do right now.
Just do it. I've been in that dilemma. Just do what Xena would do. Go for it.
There's very visible shaking from Yixis.
All right, what do you want? Your kind seems to
What
all want
do
something.
I want. You are in my territory.
Again, with the territories. Everywhere we turn, it's dragon territories. Can't take one step outside without it being a dragon's territory.
I am not a dragon. I am a drake. We are lesser than the dragons, but do not think me lesser for it.
Xena
Obviously can't tell the difference because I thought you were a dragon.
Xena during this time was trying to kind of like, she's just tightening her grip on her axe and looks like she's about to charge, but when she hears him say he's not a dragon, she deflates a little bit and gets a little confused and starts running through her head what exactly is a dragon and what is the difference. It doesn't matter. And so she's a little distracted. So you guys have a moment while she's piecing this out before she immediately attacks.
Kareem, Zamir, thank you for that raid.
I am called Vokun Strunma. In your primitive tongue, you may call me Shadow of the Mountain.
Thank you for giving it a common name because I was not going to attempt to spell that.
You don't want to attempt to spell Thum? Come on.
Who are you to enter my territory and slay my subjects?
Your subjects set upon us first, and we did not know this
You
was
lit
your...
a beacon in the darkness.
Again, we did not know it was your territory. We saw no markings, and this is the only place we can come to save our friend.
Save your friend. Which one?
Just kind of gives him a very like a very really look as like the one standing in the middle of the beacon isn't, the obvious answer.
You there in the circle. What is wrong with you?
The way I understand it, I got two demon lords trying to take my soul at the same time.
And you bring this trouble to my land.
Again, we did not know this was your land.
And it shouldn't bring any trouble. We're breaking their hold, and then we'll be fine.
You shine a magical beacon. It brings trouble. If you have not noticed.
Look, I don't understand magic very well, so you're gonna have to simplify this for me. I don't understand what you're saying.
I will not simplify it.
Then talk to that one. She's going to bring back at Zara. She understands magic. Or that one. She's going to Yixis. That one understands magic.
You come here to fix your friend. How much time do you require?
Reed, how much time is left on the ritual?
About 10 hours.
10 hours.
This is too much time. I am the first to arrive here, but more will follow.
Well, wait, so you're not a dragon then?
I am a drake.
And those guys worked for you? The giants?
In a way.
If
They were
you
lame.
are Zara or Xena, you're not helping. If
So
you
is a
are,
kinda
drake
lame, though.
close to a dragon? Is
if
it like
you were the first to arrive and this is your territory, should you not try and defend it from those on the way? Maybe we can assist you with that. We've failed all other attempts.
You assist me. What power do you bring?
Enough to stop the
Show
last-
me your strength.
Oh, gladly.
Do you have a mate?
Oh my god.
Oh no, not this. You're not making
One
more
wants,
of them.
one wants to kill them, the other one wants to get them laid.
You want to see your strength? Right here.
Yes.
What do you want? Throw something at me. Let's go. You want to go? You want to rumble?
Throw something at you. It begins to like scoop up a big chunk of dirt. Like literally gonna throw it at you.
No, I don't. I mean, like, do you want to fight? Or do you want me to fight something else to show you the strength thing that you're asking for? Dragon, that's not a dragon.
Did defeat my giants, pitiful as they were.
Yeah,
Don't
They
forget everything
have-
else that came before them.
yeah.
Typically done a good enough job of keeping my territory clear of interlopers. So perhaps you do bring strength.
Yeah. You want
You
to fight?
require 10 hours. Yes.
10 hours, then we'll be out of here.
Yep.
We are hiding the light from your beacon. We cannot hide it for 10 hours, but we can hide it for some time. If you do not cause trouble, you may stay.
I twitch.
Cause trouble? What was talking about?
We are not
No,
I
here.
Sure.
didn't mean to cause trouble.
Yes, we are not here to cause trouble, merely help a friend.
Then we will happily leave.
I'm going to look back over at the group and just mouth to them. So don't fight it. Like, so don't fight it or fight
Like,
it.
Zara's just gonna like motion like her hand down, like stand down. We don't need to fight.
She's going to be like, really? Like, really?
Just get like a very stern look and point at her.
Ears down.
You must also return something of mine.
And what is
Haven't
that?
taken anything.
Oh, but you have.
Well,
Well, what
What
was
we
it?
take?
yeah. What is it?
Little bag with something quite valuable inside.
A bag.
Can I get the bag?
Hold on.
Oh,
Zena's going to go over to her backpack and start
You-
looking through her shit.
do you mean the bag with all the gold?
In your tongue, you would call it a hoard, I believe.
Oh, that bag. Yeah, that's
Yes.
whatever. Give him the gold. We don't need
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
shit.
there's no use for that.
Yeah. Take it back.
Mm-hmm.
We're gnolls. What are coins?
Yeah.
Fine.
They
I
weren't
liked
made
that
by
it was
the elf.
shiny. I was gonna make a shiny armor. It was gonna be glorious, but I can find more. It's cool. I'm sure that's like everywhere.
Do you like some of it?
Eh.
You are welcome to it.
But
Why
you
don't
just
I-
said we
Not
had to
all
give-
of it, of course. but some of it.
Is it? Do you mean to make everything you sound like it's like a? You have other motives or whatever? Like literally every word you say, I question. And normally I don't.
Your speech is difficult for me.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Zara, do we need money?
Why would we need money?
We're good. I'll find it elsewhere. Belongs to you. But if you want to ever, have a fight, just, friendly tussle, I need practice because I'm going to face this dragon asshole back at home. He's a sand dragon dick. Gonna give him the beat down.
Please, I do not wish to know more.
Oh, he took a hand from my friend. It's actually really interesting.
Do not
story.
tell me more.
Okay.
I serve the dragons.
Oh. I mean, do you like serving the dragons?
That is inconsequential.
I mean, you seem like you're pretty powerful, so why would you serve a dragon?
Oh my god.
If you ever want out from under that shit, dude.
I think
turning around to them and going,
a dragon.
Yeah. One tried to eat me, and we got back out of it though.
It asked for us.
Did you not see the great power they hold?
Actually, I really didn't. I wasn't there at the time.
I mean, I've seen more power from you than I saw from that guy.
Yixis is going to turn around and try speaking a little draconic to it to try to get its attention.
You can see one of its eyes kind of turn to look at you slightly.
And it in a deeper, more confident voice, because of that's just how a dragon would sound. In Draconic, he says, what was it? Vokun, well, Shadow of the Mountain.
Strunma.
Shadow of the Mountain, thank you for offering your assistance. And please take back your hoard. And he gives him the bag.
You speak the old tongue. Very good. Drag one claw across the ground, kind of pushing that bag slightly more towards you. Go on, little one. Take some.
Amy Akari and Renvi, thank you for the raids.
And in Draconic, he'll say, we have little use for gold, but if you mean it as a gift, I will take some.
Do me a favor, little one. Take some and give it to everyone you find. Every person you meet.
Oh, dear God.
Oh, no.
If at any point in time a insight check was needed.
Yes, I am so rolling an insight check.
Okay, go for it.
Normally when a stranger's offers you candy, you're supposed to say no.
Well, that's a 19 on a die. Let me actually pull up my stats here so I can tell you what the total's going to be. That's my spell list. That doesn't help me. 23 total.
23 total? Okay, yeah. There's most definitely an ulterior motive here. This Drake has a big grin on its face, and its eyes are kind of squinted in glee as it looks at you and pushes this bag towards you, asking you to do this favor for it. What that motive is, can't really tell, but there's most definitely one there.
Do I sense that if I refuse, things will turn ugly quickly?
maybe not necessarily turn ugly, but this very powerful Drake will be disappointed.
Decisions.
Why do you want us to take the money?
Have you not earned it?
I mean, we don't really have much use for money.
Not from you, no.
You defeated the ones that carried it for me.
True.
You have earned your take.
Really, we would just be happy to remove the afflictions affecting our friend and leave.
Then consider the gold a symbol of our friendship.
Ew. Well then,
Yeah, I can't argue with that.
in the hopes that one day you want free of your dragon masters, I will take a small handful.
And Yixis, what about you?
Ixis will kind of side eye Xena.
She looks at you and shrugs.
Just kind of like. Great shadow under the mountain, of the mountain, above the mountain.
There's a shadow, there's a mountain. It's close enough.
we don't have any use for gold, and our people have no use for gold, and I fear most peoples don't want to deal with our peoples, so I don't know how we would accomplish this spreading of your horde.
And upon hearing that, the Drake kind of sits down quite abruptly and pulls its head back from where it previously was, just mere feet from you. And that big grin turns to a frown.
I apologize for disappointing you, but unfortunately it's true.
I am very disappointed to hear your choice, little one. Very
Cool.
disappointed.
Like, hold on. Ixis. We could give it to, good friends of ours that we've
was that
recently run
paladin.
into.
There was that paladin.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd love some gold. Or, what was that big beefy Gnoll that we ran into, that other pack? I'm sure they would like some of the gold too, right?
Maybe.
We have people we could give it to.
So you will take some then?
Why not?
Wonderful. Each of you, please, take a handful.
I mean, I'm kind of stuck in a circle here, so
Hey,
You'll
grab
once again
this
kind
handful.
of push that bag across the ground towards the group. So who all is taking some gold? You all seem so very reluctant to take this gold for some reason.
Well,
Gee,
because
I
we're
wonder why.
gnolls. If I were any other race, I'd probably be, Scrooge
Yeah.
McDucking into that gold. But we're like, ooh, a bunch of shiny gold coins. We've got an elf locked up that does the same thing for us.
Yeah. I want to do, I feel like Xena thought there was something fishy because of what I said before, but I'm going to do an insight check just to see how much I feel is fishy. So I don't metagame. So I
Actually,
got a
did it.
15. How do I feel
15?
uneasy at all, or
Yeah, you certainly do.
Okay. not?
I mean, there's probably some kind of inherent mistrust with this creature just because of what it is.
Yeah.
But what little you do know about dragons and their kind, they don't offer up their treasures to anyone for any reason unless it served them in some way.
So I'm thinking of if this shady, my Xena's head, shady motherfucker. I'm gonna give this gold to other shady motherfuckers. Just call it a day.
Yeah.
That's Xena's
Yeah,
plan.
and I would like to do maybe an Arcana or History check to see if I've ever heard of, or maybe even read, probably read over heard, about dragons or drakes using this kind of tactic for some reason.
Okay, so you can give me either one of those rolls. Let me know which skill it is and what your roll is.
Isa probably looks a little sad because she kind of wants a token of friendship from a Drake. And I rolled real low on her insight check. So, but you can't leave the circle. So you can't go get one.
The bag will be extended to you if you show interest in it.
I'm gonna go with History because Exis has done much of his learning from books and hasn't had like an arcanist teacher. So hopefully that gives some sort of edge. I don't know, but it's a 24.
24, okay. You've never really heard stories or read stories of dragons or dragonkin giving their treasures, their hoards, to mortals, to humanoid creatures. You've heard tales of lesser dragons giving essentially offerings to greater dragons in order to gain favor or maintain favor. But this particular scenario is quite a unique one.
So Isa's probably
Okay.
standing on her toes looking over there like, what's going on? What's going on?
The drake will hook one claw into the bag and kind of hold it out over in your direction, Isa.
She'll grab like 3 coins.
That is not quite a handful, is it?
Didn't want to take too many. It was an offering of friendship.
Well, we are great friends, are we not?
Okay. I mean, I don't know what to do with these things. So we got like 3 more.
Okay. So anyone that
Take
wants
7.
to take from this bag, you can either take a specific number or roll like a d20 or something, and that's the number you'll get.
So I will grab 16 coins out of there.
Xena grabs 19.
Oh, Jesus.
They're very shiny coins.
The reason I grabbed 6 is she's been offered something before and haven't backfired on her, which is why we're here.
So I will remove bag of holding with gold and 27 pounds of good soil.
Xena just thinks
Okay.
she's brilliant. She thinks she's got everything figured out. She probably doesn't at all, but she thinks she's having a stroke of brilliance right now.
What about Zara? What is Zara doing?
Zara's hating this moment right now.
Oh, I know she is.
It says it's a drake.
That's why
I'm
I love
sorry.
it so much.
I'm sorry. You're a giant lizard. You're a dragon. I don't care what you say. I don't like Zara doesn't trust these things. You know, as far as she can throw them.
Want to fight so bad.
Isa doesn't know what the difference between a drake and a dragon is, so sure her head, she's not friends with the dragon.
Yeah, if Isa was not out of commission, Xena probably would have already been in the fray. She'd worry about her friend.
Does it offer the bag to Zara?
Yep.
You'll forgive me if I'm hesitant. The ones you
It
say
is
you served
understandable.
took She like points over to like the missing arm. Took this for me, so there's a bit of a distrust.
I see. So you have seen the power that the dragons wield.
I have. I've been down the throat of one.
And you live to tell the tale. Impressive.
Let's say we were a bit hard to swallow.
Your kind usually are.
Would it offend you if I did not take coins?
It would disappoint me.
Oh, I am a disappointment to most.
Perhaps think of it less as you taking these coins and more dispersing these coins for me.
What do they do? What purpose does it serve?
It is merely currency.
And that is the problem that I am running into. Our people have no need for currency, and most people we come across that aren't our own kind, we kill. You can see the issue we would have here. Now, say if this were to cause destruction on those we gave it to, that would be a different scenario altogether.
Do you wish destruction upon someone?
Oh, a great many people, yes.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who, may I ask?
Big asshole Gnoll guy
Mm-hmm.
named.
This, I mean no offense, does not narrow it down at all.
That's fair.
Fair.
That's fair. What's his name? Call.
There are
Okay.
those
Okay.
in our village who I would see gone.
Such as, you are all from Dagger Tree, yes?
How'd you know that?
I have eyes in many places.
Creepy. I don't see any. I just see those two. Where you got them? Zena's kind of walk around a little bit. They on your belly? On your foot? Tail?
He wasn't
any eyes.
being literal. Probably has
Where else you got
spies.
eyes?
They are invisible.
Ah, weird. All right. Magic shit.
I would see the vast majority of that population turn to ash if it were up to me.
I
Well,
see.
now. Sorry, maybe we should talk about that statement a little later. But
What's there to talk about? My
I mean-
entire life, I've been treated as an outsider by almost everyone there. Hell, when I was first brought there, they wanted to kill me. You've seen what they did with Keo. It seems
they
that
weren't-
anybody who doesn't fall into the Matriarch's grand plan is either shunned, exiled, or executed. Hell, she
all of them
wants,
are bad.
she points back over to, the bird, I forgot her name, wow.
Green?
Yeah, she wants this one dead. Simply because she has a brother.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I disagree with the matriarch, but not everybody in Dagger Trees
Oh, I
messed up.
said a vast majority, not everyone.
All right,
Let's be fair. Vast majority of our races are assholes.
fair.
They talk about moving forward and starting anew, branching out, working with other civilizations, and yet in the shadows they still hold to worshiping Gnoll, even though in public she says that she's moved away from it.
I cannot argue these points. Continue.
I know of many that would like the territory of your people. Why not side with them if destruction is what you seek?
There are no dragons.
Kind of does this because they look at me and they just see one of them. But when
It is a risk approaching others.
But when they look at me, they don't see another Gnoll.
Hey. Give me a sad face from Isa.
Present company excluded. Let's just say...
Was present company always excluded?
Until...
Or were they offered a chance to get to know you?
Until we set out together, I've never once laid eyes on them. But they never treated me as an outsider, something to be shunned. They treated me as an equal. And for some reason or another, they keep calling me their leader.
If you had never set eyes upon your companions, perhaps they did not treat you as anything. Perhaps you are excluding yourself.
Excluding myself from what?
Your people.
I was hidden away. I was serving them while out of sight.
And were you not given the chance to be much more? Is that not your current adventure? Is that not your quest
The only
given by this matriarch?
The only thing that I've learned from this quest is it's solidifying that a large quantity of dagger tree or whatever Rith's cast needs to go in order for the future of our people to flourish. We need to cull the old ways.
And so to do that, you will cull the old generations.
If it
Why
comes
have
to
you
that.
not done it yet?
Because I do not have the power or influence to do that.
But you have met others that do.
A few.
Is your leader not at odds with those that took your arm? Would they not give you a place, riches, for information on how to take that territory from your people?
Don't need riches. I do not
Then
seek
what do you
riches.
need?
I need the means to cull. I don't need power. Well, I don't need personal glory. I don't need wealth. I'm not doing this for my personal gain.
Then you do it for what? Your people?
I do it for the future. It is the only way I see that we even have one. If until then, you is just going to continue to poison the minds of generation after generation through the older ones.
Despite your distaste for your people, your perception of not being one of them, you are as much a Gnoll in your ways as I have ever met. You would seek the future of your people through death.
Call it hypocrisy if you want.
I do. But I do not say it is the wrong path.
I am anything if a hypocrite.
You know, Zara, you have good intention, sure, but you talk like you know, like you know what the weight of these actions would actually be on you, and you don't. You don't know. I unlike you, I was born a Gnoll, but it didn't make a difference for me.
And as the Gnoll, you
Everyone
have
still treats me like an outsider, and the ones who were the worst culprits of it, they're gone now. But even that still leaves me feeling empty.
Up, all I've had is emptiness.
Same here.
So
But trust me, it can be worse.
maybe it needs to be worse to be better. All this journey has filled me with is distrust. And dare I say it, a growing hatred.
I mean, it does kind of feel like we're sent out here to die.
We stepped foot in these mountains, and for the first time in a very, very long time, I felt peace. Away from the desert. Away from her rule. Away from their influence.
We are revealing too much in front of this one, I think.
This one probably already knows. As it said, it has eyes everywhere.
What more business do you want with us? Shadow Mountain.
I am simply eager to learn about the current state of this world. It is in much turmoil.
So it seems.
As the humans would say, everything is messed up.
Yes, well, the humans are usually to blame for it, are they not?
True.
In our Castus.
Perhaps, since you have been honest with me about your intentions, I should be honest with you, friends.
Twitch.
I have laid eyes upon every treasure in my hoard. Go on, look closer, young ones. Kind of motions at the gold that each of you have.
Bring it right
And
up.
upon inspecting these coins, you notice that every single one of these coins seems to have a unique mark on it. No two coins have the same mark, each one of them identifying them as a single unique object, despite otherwise just being a gold coin. And those of you that are arcane proficient, let's say, will know. Actually, Yixis, give me an Arcana roll for this. See how much you put together here.
Natural 20 for 27.
Natural 20 for a
Dang.
27.
Damn.
Okay.
That's what we needed.
All right. Yeah. The moment you look at the marks on these coins, you immediately know what's going on here. This Drake has said that he has eyes everywhere. And now looking at these coins, you realize that by that, he means every single coin is a unique object for him to scry upon. So the more he has out in the world, the more he can see.
Mm-hmm.
I simply ask that you spread my vision so I may understand the workings of this world.
I actually don't see a huge threat in that. Like, not a direct threat, anyways. I'll actually grab some more.
Okay. Yeah, everyone can grab more if you want it. If you so desire, you can grab up to 100 coins. And Yixis, upon reaching that revelation of what's going on here, do you share that with the group or do you keep it to yourself?
I will, but probably not in so many words. Probably something like, "Oh, I see you. You use these as objects to scry on."
Correct. It is our eyes.
Why would the Drake want to cry on it?
No,
What's-
Xena, no.
What's crying?
You don't need to cry.
Seeing from afar.
Why would a Drake cry?
Do these cry? Don't be
No.
sad, Coin.
You see,
The
afar.
Drake uses them to see from afar.
Like a series of mirrors to help you see around a corner?
Sure.
That's smart, Isa.
Good for something. Sometimes.
Get it. These are mirrors.
Mirror coins. Got it.
Cool.
I don't see a problem with this. I'll take a
Cool,
few
cool,
more.
cool.
The Drake is just like sitting there with its head cocked to the side a little bit. Like, I must not be translating their words correctly. I don't really understand what they're saying.
You could literally see
Yixis
him
will
get
look
dumber
straight
by the
at
minute.
Drake. Yixis will look straight at the Drake and just go,
What if I were to make like chainmail out of a bunch of these coins? Would you just be able to see like everything that I
would
destroyed? You could
Be able
like
to see you.
you could watch all of my glorious battles. That would be so great for you. I will proudly wear a coin for you to see my glory. You may witness it.
Xena, I think the Drake would be happier if you bought some armor with it. That way the coins would be spread wider.
We should totally keep one so they could see our exports.
Yes, do feel free to hold on to at least one for each of you.
You don't want like surround vision?
One will be sufficient for me to see all of what you do.
You can have it embedded in your axe handle.
No
Make
one's
your axe
touching my
pretty shiny.
axe.
But you get a blacksmith to do it. It makes it pretty and shiny.
I ain't putting no dragon coin, no Drake.
I would advise that you
Thing.
do not attach it to your weapons. As we have observed, you have a proclivity for throwing your weapons off of mountains.
All right, I'll have to give that to you. That was a pretty sick burn, Drake.
I mean,
All right.
so did his giant.
Yes. and now
Unfair
he
though,
is
because your
dead.
giant, yeah, did the same thing. So
Also, his weapon was not magical. That
hey, could you
was-
get that back for me, by the way? I noticed you got the wings. Anyway, you could while you're getting your giant's axe, maybe if you happen to want to go get that, if you happen to see javelin, that'd be great. Just putting that out there.
Sure, if I see a magical javelin, I will take it from the ground.
And bring it to me.
I will take it from the ground.
Damn it. I'll know where to find it. at least.
So, knowing now what it is that I desire, Druid, will you take some of my coins?
You know, she reaches in and she'll take specifically 3 coins.
Are they for the ones you wish culled?
Targets of import.
Such as your leader?
He's no leader of mine.
Right, of course.
Zara is our leader.
I don't want this responsibility.
I
Too
mean,
bad Ethan's already giving it to you.
I follow her sometimes, but I seek my own glory, which you will witness and be in amazement.
As long as you hold on to a coin, we will witness everything.
Okay.
Now, you all seem quite exhausted. Perhaps each of you should lay down and rest.
I'm
Close your eyes.
good. Nah.
Get
No
some
thanks.
sleep.
Just the way he says it. I don't. Is it a he? Are you a he, dragony thing, Drake? Or are you a she, dragony thing, Drake?
Does it make a difference?
Not really, actually.
Then it does not
I
matter.
choose my own pronoun, but I was just curious as to what you choose for your own pronoun.
I would have.
We do not follow your guidelines, let's say.
So they, them. Okay. Got it.
That will suffice.
I have to
Perfect.
agree with my hyperactive companion here. The way you said that seems to be cause for concern.
Hey, they picked their
I
own life.
apologize. Your language, as we have said, is difficult.
It can be.
You have many words for such little information.
Well, guess we can try to get some sleep. Normal watch rotations still apply.
I need to stay up.
Yes,
Cause
I know, pup. You're good. Good. The rest of us, though, those who will be defending you when the time comes, we do need our rest.
We shall keep this shadow around your beacon for as long as possible. It will help to mask its lure. It will provide you protection for now. However, it is very loud magic that you have, and there are great Dova below us, great power. If their attention turns upwards, it is they who I serve.
Wait, does he? Do they serve the sexy dragon?
They serve dragons, period.
Okay. Because you said below,
Actually-
and I'm like, oh no, the sexy dragon.
Give me anyone can do this, either history or straight intelligence.
Jesus. My rolls tonight. 26.
17.
Damn.
Oh, the 16.
16 is still good.
Yeah.
Did I see Xerax rolling?
10.
10. That sounds like a Xerax roll. So anyone that got above 10, thinking about everything, all the words that were exchanged here, and now knowing what the purpose of dispersing these coins is, you can probably make an assumption that perhaps this particular drake, rather than serving others in like a warrior sense, is perhaps instead more of like an info broker for dragons. This drake has eyes possibly all over the world, possibly just this continent. You don't actually know, but they very clearly seem to be a hoarder of information, and that can be very valuable to dragons.
Pretty cool, actually. Shadow Dragon Net.
Pretty much. And at about this point, Reen starts to whistle fairly quietly, trying to get the attention of Yixis. She, this whole time, has very clearly been a little bit uneasy about this massive shadow drake creature suddenly showing up, but things seem to be going smoothly, so she's just kind of quietly been doing the ritual. But she does whistle to get your attention, Yixis, and if you look over at her, she kind of like nods her head like, come here, type of thing.
I will.
I need your help now.
Oh, yeah. What do you need?
I need you to stand between me and Isa.
Is that it?
No.
As I start moving.
I need you to direct magic towards Isa when I direct it to you. You are like boosting the signal, making it stronger. Because I am very tired.
Oh, I'm sure you've been doing this a long time. Okay. And I go stand directly between Reen and Isa.
Okay, we are going to channel the ley line to you. And you just need to push it towards her. Are you ready?
Should I face you or her? Or...
I don't know. I have never done this ritual before.
Oh, good. Neither have I.
It will be okay. Maybe.
So I'll actually stand facing the tree line and kind of put both arms out to the side so I can like look at either and just try to direct the flow that way.
You got
And as soon as you kind of fix yourself in that position, Reen changes the direction that she's channeling this magical energy, and the beam that had connected her to Isa over the last 13, 14 hours suddenly redirects into you. And as soon as it hits you, you feel this great force push into you, but it doesn't seem to want to budge you from where you stand. It's a force that almost is like frigid air filling your lungs, but it connects to your fingertips and then just runs through your entire body as it passes through. And then that same beam that had been connecting Reen to Isa kind kind of fires out from your other hand, and you take a moment to gather yourself and then attempt to redirect it, as mentioned, back towards Isa. And in order for this to be successful at this first stage, I need an Arcana check from you.
Okay, so as it connects with him, there's probably an audible gasp and noticeable effort on his face to try to process what's happening and keep it in check. And you need Arcana.
Yep.
It's going to be a 21. Was almost a natural 20 again.
21? Okay, so you are able to successfully channel this energy through your own body, and you can feel it kind of strengthen as it exits your hand. The beam that is going into you, you can feel kind of wavers a little bit, a sign of Reen's obvious exhaustion from standing here now almost for 12 hours straight channeling this magic, and you focus it through yourself back towards Isa. Now I need a ranged spell attack from you.
Okay.
So D20 plus your spellcasting modifier. Plus proficiency.
Would this by any chance be affected by my +1 spell focus?
Yeah, it would. I forgot you had that.
So it's the same as my spell save DC, right?
It is. Bring up your
Your
sheet.
spell
here.
attack would be the same as your spell attack.
Yeah, so that would be a
Spell attack and
D20.
spell save. No.
D20 plus proficiency plus intelligence modifier plus 1.
Not as good, but not bad. 17.
17. Okay. Isa, what is your constitution score?
My constitution score is a 16.
A 16? Okay. So you successfully redirect that magic into Isa, and Isa, you feel almost refreshed by it in a way. You can heal 5 points of HP if you were missing any, Isa.
Okay.
This could have gone in a very different direction if that was a low roll, but it went in a good direction. So for now, you are maintaining the magic of this ritual, and things seem to be okay. We will get to what happens next after we return from a very brief break. So go ahead, everybody, stand up, refresh your drinks, do whatever you need to do. Don't just stay there sitting at your desk, because it is not good for you to sit in one place for too long. We will be right back in just a few moments.
And we are back.
Hi.
Welcome back. So, we now have Yixis assisting Reen with the ritual. And as Reen said, there is approximately 10-ish hours left on the ritual. And she has stated previously that she would need his assistance with the latter half of it. So he is likely to be temporarily employed by her for the next 10 hours. The rest of you have been informed that this smoke that the Drake is producing will provide some level of protection from outside threats for an amount of time. So you are free now to do as you would like, whether that be any sort of downtime activities that you've been working on, or if you just want to get some sleep. The evening is yours. The Drake itself, after a conversation has concluded, will meander over to the bodies of the giants and kind of lay down next to one of them and indulge itself in a snack.
You know, if we weren't Gnolls, that would be weird and creepy.
Yeah,
Yep.
makes perfect sense to us. Like that.
As Gnolls, it's like
Fair.
Yeah.
lunch.
It's food.
It'll go to waste, right?
That's what you want.
As a note, you said I felt that Reen, the stream of Arcana coming from Reen was like fluctuated for a moment there. Is it continuing to do so at all?
It is, yes. And you can see just from the expression on her face and the way she slouches in her posture slightly, that the last 14 hours have certainly taken a physical toll on her. And she is very tired and quite exhausted at this point, but shows no immediate sign of that being a detriment to the ritual. And having you assist in it, perhaps she knew that she would be getting to this point, and with your help is the only way that the ritual can be concluded, because she otherwise just wouldn't have the energy for it.
Either way, Yixis will, in between bated breaths, he'll call Zara over.
What do you need, pup?
It's more like what Ring needs. Do you have anything that can help refresh her?
Refresher how?
Those mushrooms or healing.
Well,
She's very tired.
I do have mushrooms that I made at the start of the day. Gonna feed Reen one of the good berries.
And as you kind of extend it out to her, she'll just kind of lean in and snap it up with her beak, not even bothering to grab it out of your hand. Doesn't really want to expend the extra effort for that little bit of extra movement.
How is she looking overall? From a healing / fatigue point of view.
As far as like healing and stuff goes, she looks pretty good. A few of you gave her some good healing after realizing that she was hurting herself in order to heal you guys. So she's good on that front. If you were to guess what her physical state is otherwise, give me a medicine check.
Medicine. Cock to D20. That is a 19 on the die for a total of 22.
22, damn. Are you looking at her from a distance, or are you going like right up to her and taking a look?
I'm going right up and making sure she's not going to pass out in the next 10 minutes or something horrible.
Okay. And are you proficient in medicine?
Negative.
Are you proficient in Arcana?
No.
And are you proficient in Nature?
Yes.
Okay. 1 out of 3 with that roll on the dice. Yeah. So you would estimate mechanically she has probably about 3 points of exhaustion right now. And given that you're going right up to her to look, and given the roll that you made, you begin to notice beneath the feathers on her arm and stuff that you can see underneath the clothing that she's wearing, there seems to be what almost looks like glowing cracks forming in her skin. They give off a very, very faint blue glow, much like the ritual circle itself. And for the most part, unless you're going right up to her and examining her, they would go unnoticed underneath her heavy black feathers. But you do spot them, and they look to be some form of magical scarring, likely produced by the ritual.
I quietly walk back over to Zara. I don't suppose you have any form of restoration prepared today, do you?
Do I? Let me see. Well, I did, but I've used up pretty much all of my spells for the day. So I doubt the restoration that I had stored would help her.
It might. It's something we should probably take care of sooner rather than later. I don't want her dying trying to help us.
Agreed. Maybe another one can act as a conduit. Take some stress off of her.
Right. So what is Xena doing at the moment? You feel like it's safe enough now to perhaps not be having your axe at the ready at all times, though you are certainly welcome to. You have some time.
Yeah. Tina's pretty tired. She used up all her rages. So her nap got interrupted. She doesn't trust the dragon thing though. So just gonna look at the group and be like, so shifts when we rest, right?
Always.
Do you guys need me for anything?
Get your sleep. We're going to need you soon.
We're going
Alright.
to need you. Would it be possible for you to take first watch? Zara is in desperate need of rest to regain some of her ability.
Yeah, it's fine. I can do that. I'm gonna go patrol. And Xena's just gonna take her axe and start walking the perimeter.
Don't stray too far.
Right.
Okay, so you begin to patrol the perimeter. I assume you're probably walking like parallel to this black smoke that's still swirling around you guys, walking the perimeter of that.
Yeah.
Give me a perception or investigation, your choice, as you do this perimeter.
Okay. 19.
19? Okay. So as you are walking about, you happen to notice movement within this black shadow.
I don't know if it matters, but that was investigation so that I wouldn't get a negative.
Okay. Yeah. So you notice this movement as you're doing your perimeter, and you kind of focus in on it. And every once in a while, you can catch a better glimpse of whatever it is that's moving within the shadow. And eventually you notice that it seems to be shapes that resemble those smaller drakes that you fought earlier in the day. And they seem to kind of form out of this shadow and take this physical form for like 20, 30 seconds at a time before dispersing once again into the shadow with more and more forming and more dispersing. It seems that perhaps you guys were right in the theories that you made earlier that this larger drake was using those creatures from earlier as some form of avatar for itself. And it is keeping an eye on the outer perimeter of this smoke shield that you guys have by utilizing those creatures once again.
Okay.
But other than that, things seem okay. There's nothing running out through the shadow to attack you guys. There doesn't appear to be really much light from the ritual escaping this shadow that surrounds you. You do feel, for the most part, protected from outside vision. And are you doing that for the duration of a single watch? So 2-ish hours?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. And during that time, is anyone going to sleep?
Zara's going to sleep.
Okay.
Xerix is going to nap.
And I'm going to keep a watch over the sleeping people.
Okay. So the two of you try to get a bit of sleep in and eventually are able to fall asleep. Zara, give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, yes, a wisdom saving throw. At least it's wisdom.
Stop communing with the old ones.
No, never. 14.
14? Okay. Very much unlike the last couple nights, you are not assaulted tonight by visions and sounds of torture and death and all kinds of nasty things. In fact, you don't have any dreams at all. Your mind is just blank. It is empty. And that's kind of nice, given everything that's happened over the last few days. And you to rest for the duration of Xena's watch. Xena, are you going to wake anyone else up when your watch comes to an end, or are you going to let the two of them sleep and rely on Yixis and Isa to keep an eye out on everything?
I'll wake Xerix up. One of the outside circle that's not focused on the ritual should be up if we can help it. Is my thinking.
Anything
Okay.
There's just
unfortunate?
not that I could see. You know those other, I guess, drake things, the little ones that we saw earlier?
Yes.
I think they're a part of the big one. They seem to be forming their own perimeter watch.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Well then.
Night.
Also, as a point of interest, Sabira is, she doesn't do the whole sleep thing, but she'll be reading the book, trying to decipher
Yes,
more.
the book that she got from the smith.
Hmm.
Okay.
Wait, is it the?
I believe it's
Yeah,
that book, right?
It would probably be that book that she needs to put the hours in.
Yeah, because that's the
Burrow's
one
trying
that
to direct
ups
him.
one of her stats.
Yeah.
I think she was prioritizing the journal from the Colosseum until she got that book from the smith.
Book from the Smith. You were right.
All right. I would like to do my watch based on survival, if at all possible.
Sure.
Not great. That's 10.
10. Okay. What are you doing for your watch? Are you standing guard somewhere? Are you doing a perimeter?
I'm basically where's my map? Where is my map? There it is. I'm basically just patrolling along the tree line. So I'm not straying too far from where we actually are.
Okay.
And trying to keep an eye out through the creepy black things flying around in the smoke.
Okay. And you rolled a 10, correct?
10.
Roll a percentile for me as well, if you would.
31.
31?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you begin to walk your perimeter, and it's kind of boring. You spot the movement within the shadow, and you occupy your time for a good 30 minutes or so, kind of watching it as you meander through your perimeter. And it's like walking through the desert while focusing on a single star for navigation. Over time, that single star is going to move and lead you astray. And you find you're focusing on these creatures within the shadow. And before you know it, at some point, you've walked almost entirely into this shadow. And when you realize that, you look back to where you think you came from, and there's just more shadow. And you are lost within it. And then these creatures suddenly begin to shift from doing a perimeter around where your group was to doing a very tight perimeter around you specifically. They don't seem to be moving in on you or doing anything to you, but given your current situation, you have no idea which direction is the right direction to make it back to your group. And knowing what the terrain was like before this shadow showed up, you know the wrong step could have you tumbling down the side of the mountain.
There's a smart thing to do here. I stop where I am. That's not going to help me. Give me a moment. I got a thing for this. Possibly.
Thinking is probably a good thing in this situation.
What are gnolls qualified as, by the way?
As far as creature type?
Yeah.
You are humanoids. You used to be monstrosities, but the Gnolls of Daggertree are no longer. No longer monstrosities, not like just no longer, full stop.
Give it a few days.
I would like to, in some way, see if I can. You've said that the ritual is acting almost like a beacon.
Yes.
Would I be able to focus on that in some way to lead myself back?
You could certainly try. How are you going to go about this? Are you going to try to just focus on the arcane aspect of it and see if that can lead you? Or are you going to try to utilize one of your abilities in perhaps a different way than usual?
Since it's technically an oddity within nature, would I be able to use nature to do this?
You could, yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead and give me that nature roll.
14.
14, okay. You try to reach out to what at this point is a familiar sensation. You've been around the essence of this ritual long enough to know that kind of staticky feeling, that almost ozone scent that it produced in its area. And you feel like perhaps you may have found the feeling that you're looking for, the direction of this strange pulse seems to be coming from your northeast. Do you follow it?
Knowing where we were, I will trust the north and not the northeast.
Okay. So you proceed to walk north.
Might I
Are
add
you
carefully?
going? I was just to say, are you going at a careful
I'm actually
pace,
going to use my sword and sort of prod the ground in front of me, much like you would see with a walking stick.
Okay. Give me a survival roll.
There we go. 22.
22. Okay. You begin to trek carefully northward, using your sword to guide your path along solid ground through this shadowy, smoky darkness and these swirling, almost ethereal drakes around you. And you travel for what feels like 20, 25 minutes. And you begin to notice these drakes swirling around you are becoming lesser and lesser. And eventually you do spot some going in a much, much larger perimeter, a perimeter that's familiar to you. And you break through the smoke surrounding your encampment and realize you are to the south of your group. North, and just north, was a good choice. You are now back to the safety of your relative safety of your group. The large black drake is still there. It looks to be asleep, all curled up a fair distance away from the ritual site, and nobody in your group looks any worse for wear as your watch comes to an end. Are you waking someone else up, or are you letting the rest of your group sleep?
I will. I will wake Zara.
Okay. As you go over to Zara to nudge her awake, you hear a bit of a surprised yelp from Reen. And looking over in that direction, you can see a bright flash coming from her connection to the ley line above. Perhaps a surge of some kind that she was not expecting. And as it moves through her, it progresses forward into Yixis. And Yixis, I need a Constitution saving throw from you.
Oh boy. Uh, 15.
15, okay. I'm going to take only 3 lightning damage as this surge of energy crashes into you. And seeing what happened with Reen as it hit her and feeling the movement of this energy, you know that it is also going to continue through to Iza. You do have a very, very brief moment if you want to attempt to affect it in any way.
Sorry, first of all, how many points of damage was it?
It is 3 lightning damage. It would have been 6, but you saved.
I will try to will it to stay instead of moving beyond.
Okay.
If
So you're
I
going to
can.
try to kind of mitigate that surge within you so that it doesn't pass through to Iza.
Yeah,
So
maybe
you
like
can-
try to get it to go down through my feet into the ground.
Okay. You can give me, let's see. Give me a straight intelligence check, but you can add your proficiency to it.
So +7. 19.
19, okay. And roll a d12 for me.
One?
1, okay. So you are going to take an additional 1 point of lightning damage as with some quick thinking,
That
you
could've been so much worse.
successfully ground this energy and you stop the surge from passing through and hitting Iza. You maintain the structure of this magical beam that is connecting the 3 of you together, and the surge seems to be mitigated for the time being.
Right.
So, Zarek, you can go ahead and wake up Zara.
I walk over and nudge Zara a couple times.
Anything that I should know about?
Don't get lost in the mist.
Okay. Kind of giving him like a no shit look. First off, like when she gets up, she's gonna go check on Reen to see how she is.
Are you doing like a medicine check or anything? Or are you just going to go over and ask her how she's doing?
I'm gonna do a medicine check.
Okay. Roll that medicine for me.
14.
14. Now that they've been pointed out to you, you can see this kind of mana scarring that is happening beneath her feathers. And it does seem to have crept further down her arms a little bit. But otherwise, she notices you kind of looking over her being, and she gives you a bit of a thumbs up and then continues on with the ritual.
So I've got one spell left before they refresh in the morning. So I'm going to drop Cure Wounds on her to see if that at any point, or if that like makes the scarring recede or anything.
Okay.
So it's going to be for a total of 12 HP.
12 HP. After receiving that healing, she kind of straightens her posture a little bit, looks a little bit more refreshed. You don't see it affect the scarring in any way, but it has certainly given her a little bit more energy than she had before.
Okay. I think with that, she's gonna stick close to this circle, just in case anything is needed of her.
Okay.
And she's gonna do her watch from there.
All right. What skill of yours would you like to rely on for your watch?
I think since I'm not really doing anything, I'm not moving or anything of that sorts. Probably perception.
Okay. Roll that perception if you would.
That would be a 23.
23. All right.
Yep.
That is a very good roll. And give me a percentile as well on this one.
24.
23 and 24. Okay. So your watch, as it progresses for the next 2 hours, well, for the next about hour and a half, it seems relatively quiet. That swirling smoke persists. The drake kind of shuffles around a bit. It wakes up eventually and seems to pace around the area like it's either thinking about something or it's tired of just hanging around here. Hard to tell, but it's awake. The shadow barrier persists. You don't feel any dangers encroaching upon you, but with your good perception and, let's say, less than good luck, you do happen to notice another surge coming through this ley line. And because of the high perception, you notice it well before it hits your companions. And you have time to react as you see this one doing something a little bit different from the previous one. As it kind of makes its way through the connection terrain, you see it almost spiking out and jutting out in directions, almost like bolts of lightning shooting out as it makes its way down. You see some of those bolts of lightning make connection with the stones around the ritual circle. And as soon as they hit the stones, they kind of establish that connection and keep it. And then suddenly all of these stones are now as well being connected by a similar line of magical energy that connects Reen to Yixis to Iza, and they're making their way around clockwise to the one that you are currently on. You can make a dexterity saving throw for me to try and avoid being hit by this surge of energy.
Now, if I were to say throw myself in front of it, would that stop the arcing to the next stone?
You don't know.
See, do I have anything I can use to ground it? I think I just have a quarterstaff. Yep, it's time to be dumb. She's gonna jump down and just take her quarterstaff and like jam it into the ground in front of her, hoping that it acts as some sort of grounding point when it strikes. And she's just gonna brace herself for the impact.
Okay. So instead of a dexterity save, you can give me a constitution save.
I mean, this is kind of par for the course. First the dragon, now the lightning. She's gonna jump from everything.
That's gonna be a 18.
18. Okay, that is a save. So you're only going to take 8 points of lightning damage. And roll another percentile for me.
29.
29. Is your quarterstaff magical?
No, this is just the wooden one.
Okay. So, quick thinking on your part and good thinking. You're fairly confident that this is going to accomplish what you set out to accomplish here. You jam that quarterstaff down into the ground, act as a grounding rod for this magical surge that's coming your way. And though you're quick enough to get the quarterstaff into the ground, you're not quick enough to get yourself out of the way as this energy jumps from the stone that you're on to you, dealing that damage to you, and then to your quarterstaff, which is in the ground. And you can see the lines connecting all of these stones now begin to fade as the energy surges through your quarterstaff and disperses in the ground. But you notice at the very base of the quarterstaff where it meets the ground, it's starting to glow brighter and brighter and brighter. And then as the last of the energy dissipates from the stone and surges into this quarterstaff, there's a loud crack, a loud bang as the quarterstaff bursts from the force of this energy into tiny little splinters scattered everywhere around. And I do need a dexterity saving throw from you.
At least that's decent. It's gonna be 21.
21? Okay, so you're only going to take 2 points of piercing damage as some of these wooden splinters stab into you, but otherwise you do avoid the majority of them. Lose your quarterstaff in the process, but have protected your companions for what could have been considerable damage.
Did I take any lightning damage from that?
Yeah, you took eight points of lightning damage.
Okay.
And Yixis and Isa, you see your good friend Zara's very quick thinking, and for a brief moment are perhaps grateful that you didn't have to deal with the surge that just obliterated her quarterstaff.
The Adventure Archive, thank you for that raid. Rip quarterstaff. It's okay, I still have the Staff of Flowers, I'm fine.
Yeah.
And that one is a magical one, so
I wasn't gonna risk that one.
probably a good call. And in fact, if you don't have one already, you can have a point of inspiration for that, because that was a really nasty surge that had it passed through you and hit your companions, the potential damage would have multiplied for every companion that it hit.
Ooh.
Ouch.
But everyone is safe and sound, and the remainder of your watch is quiet. There is still, at the end of your watch, 2 more hours before a full rest has been achieved. So
real
if
quickly,
anyone's... Nope, go ahead.
noticing the pattern of events here, that surges sometimes happen and need to be mitigated. Yixis is gonna look to Reen. If another surge happens and I redirect the flow, is that gonna ruin the ritual, or do I just have to hold it?
It should not ruin the ritual, but it would need another target.
Yixis,
The
don't worry about it.
energy has to go somewhere.
Okay. Any target?
I do not know. But
Okay.
this will be more volatile as we approach the end. So, everyone that wants a long rest will have to remain asleep for the next 2 hours. You do still have Subira, who doesn't need to sleep and hasn't taken a watch. I know Zoro's not here, but just so you guys do get your rest, you can try to rely on her. The DCs will be different given that the player is not here, or perhaps you could ask your new very good friend to help you out with the final watch.
Vera, what do you think? Have her do it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think Zara's the only one sleeping or only one awake at the moment.
Right. Isa can
Oh, yeah, I
keep an
guess it's
eye
your
out too
choice.
and wake you guys. So
Yeah, but she doesn't want to put strain on Isa.
Isa's just sitting there doing nothing.
Yeah, and that's what worries her is Isa is bored and she's gonna see something and run out of the circle after it.
Fair.
Or the third time.
She's gonna
Third, fourth, something like that.
she's gonna rely on Subira to keep a watch.
Okay.
Afterwards, she's just gonna sit down and pull the splinters out, and then go back to sleep.
I am going to real quick give Shadow Fox access to Subira's sheet so he can make the rolls for this watch.
She
you should be
immediately
able-
casts Eldritch Blast every turn
Well, naturally, yeah.
for the entirety of her watch.
Just Yosemite Samming it, just shooting it up into the sky.
And
Which
Shadow
of your
Fox
skills would you
suddenly-
like to rely on for the watch? Eldritch Blast.
And suddenly Shadow Fox is going to show up tomorrow. We don't know why.
His feet
so-
just cuts.
Shadow Fox, which of Subira's stats do you think she would rely on for a
The
watch?
character sheet is pulling up. It's taking a while to load for some reason.
There's a lot of stuff on that character sheet.
And I will read it all and then get back to you. No. See here, what's been rolled already? Perception and
Perception and survival. Xena did a roll as well, but it was a separate type of roll, so I'm not counting it towards the skills for your watches.
well, I would try to make an argument for history, but I can't seem to make that work in my head. So let's
I'm
go
open
with,
to hearing the argument.
like I said, I can't make it work in my own head, so I can't argue it very well.
Fair enough.
I will roll with investigation, if that makes
Okay.
sense.
And I don't think Subira has ever actually done like a perimeter on any of her watches, has she? She's just kind of sat there being her creepy self looking around.
She will
It's a
continue
beard ad.
to follow that line of logic, yes.
She
Okay,
tends
yeah.
to just glare at trouble until it goes away.
That's fair. Okay, so go ahead and give me that roll.
What is it? It's that alpha dog confidence stare.
Yeah.
You just maintain eye contact until it subdues. Natural 20 for 26.
Damn.
Let's hope the
I
percentile
want
works
your
out.
dice, sir. I want them very much.
I have 4 d20s and I switch between them, and I think that has something to do with it.
I think we just need to send Shadowfox all of our dice. He can touch all of them and send them back to us.
I mean,
And I know you're a mathematician, Gilly, and I know what statistics say, but I rest all my dice with the ones facing up.
Statistically speaking, every time you roll that dice, you have a 1 in 20 chance of hitting any number.
Yes, I know. And yet,
It's not always how it works out.
the only problem is he touches the dice and then he gets our curse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so that's a 63.
Okay. So, during Subiro's watch, and Yixis and Iza, you see the same thing. It is quiet and calm for an hour or so, and you know at this point that morning has arisen, given how late it was before everyone started to go to sleep. And as the sun rises up in the sky, you can see it begin to break through the shadow surrounding all of you. Starting from the highest point, the swirling shadows begin to slow. They begin to fade as beams of light make their way through. And by the end of Subiro's watch, it is mostly just a faint veil of what it was previously. The shadows have almost entirely dispersed, and the very good Drake friend that you have all made is sitting there looking in the direction of the sun with a very deep frown on their face, quite unhappy that there is light of any kind. But the watch goes by without issue, and you are unaccosted as the group as a whole begins to wake up. Everybody except for Yixis and Iza has received the effects of a long rest. But I do need, I need Reen to do a roll first, actually.
That is a heartbreaking statement to make towards any spellcaster, sir.
It really is. I feel the pain. I really do. It hurts me just as much as it hurts you. Okay. And let's see. This is the third surge, and that is some nasty damage. So another yelp, quite loudly, from Reen wakes everyone up from their slumber. As a very bright flash, followed by a very large or very loud crack, like the crack of a thunder, echoes out throughout the area, and it even gets the attention of the Drake, who turns to look like, what the hell's going on type of thing. And Reen is very briefly knocked down to her knees, and she scurries back up, and you can see arcs of what look to be electricity, but you know to be almost pure magical energy kind of radiating out from her feet where they contact with the ground. And she appears to be struggling very much with Yixis. You probably understand is a powerful surge of ley energy contained within her at the moment. And she looks to you with a very apologetic look on her face as you see the beam extending from her fingers begin to brighten, and you know that this surge is now on its way to you.
Can you give me a quick description of the scenario around me? The Drake laid down there and ate probably the closest giant to that, right?
Yes. So the giant that is close to where the Drake is currently positioned is like half eaten. The Drake is now more like right there.
Okay. Is the
Otherwise,
other
the
giant's body still
spacing-
there?
Yes. The other giant's body is in fact still there.
And I have visual contact with it?
Yes. Yes, you do.
So as the beam brightens and starts to come towards Yixis, he's going to face Reen entirely, and point his other hand at the other dead giant's body.
So I need a few rolls here.
Yep, I'm sure you
First,
do.
I need an Arcana roll from you, Yixis. And then I need a Constitution save from you, Isa, as your connection within this ritual is very, very briefly broken in order to redirect this surge.
So Arcana, that's going to be a 21.
And 22
Okay.
for my con.
2 for your con, okay. So, Isa, as this connection to you is briefly broken, you feel a surge coming up from beneath your feet. The light of this arcane circle kind of centralizes on it right where you're standing. But you see it coming, you're able to prepare yourself, and energy shoots up from it, and you take only 3 points of lightning damage. Would have otherwise been 6, and from Yixis, that is certainly a good enough Arcana roll to make a valiant attempt at what you are doing. So, redirecting this surge, I need first a Constitution save from you as the surge hits you.
Dirty 20.
30-20, that is a save, so you're going to only take 10 points of lightning damage. And then I need a ranged spell attack from you.
$21.
21, that will certainly do it. You redirect this surge of ley energy as it flows through you, dealing a considerable amount of damage to you, but not as bad as it could have been. It shoots out. Everybody is awake enough at this point to follow it as it arcs through the air, striking the body, I believe, of the one that threw his club over the edge of the mountain. And a huge pulse of light travels through this arc, connects with the body, and you can see all of the wounds that you inflicted on this deceased creature light up with an energy from within, and then sickening cracking noises as its chest begins to expand outwards. And just as suddenly as the crack of ley energy made itself known, another crack rings out through the area as the body of this stone giant explodes, littering gore across the entirety of your camp area. It is a gruesome sight, though perhaps not so much for a Gnoll. You're kind of used to gruesome sights, being what you are, but the Drake is rather disgusted looking as this red meat flies through the air and just paints everything.
Breakfast.
So he
Breakfast.
just got misted.
Xena
Yep.
just
He just got misted.
licks her face a little bit in her hand and does a loud whistle sound of like woo.
Thanks
We
for that mental picture, Rojan.
we all right there?
Yixis, as
Yixis-
fast as he can get his mind back around, is going to redirect the now normal flow back to Isa.
And carrying that Arcana check over, you are able to reestablish it without issue.
Did you see it twitch, Yixis? Was it what'd the giant do?
I needed a target.
Oh, sometimes you just gotta hit stuff, right? I get it.
Sure.
Good one. That was a big one.
So the morning is now yours. You're all awake and probably a little bit hungry with the smell of meat in the air. And the smoke and shadow around you has dissipated entirely. The sun is starting to rise on the horizon, just peeking up over the mountains in the range of the Golden Peaks. You estimate about 2 hours before the conclusion of this ritual.
First things first. I'm gonna go over to both Green and Ixis and drop a level 2 cure wounds into both of them.
Okay.
So Reen is going to get, that sucks, 10 HP.
She will happily take that 10
and
HP.
Yixis will get 14.
Well, I'm back up to full.
And then she'll feed each one of them a good berry.
Which, again, Reen will happily take from your hand. What is Xerix doing as Zara is tending to the magical companions?
I have to check unless somebody knows offhand. Is there a reagent for lesser restoration? Not that I see.
I don't think so. I think Greater has one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to, you know what? I'm going to do a thing. For better or worse, I'm going to do a thing. I'm going to go over to Reen and cast Lesser Restoration on her.
Okay.
And see how she looks after that.
Refresh myself real quick with Lesser Restoration.
Here you go.
I mean, I know Kyo has it. When's the last time you saw her do a restoration?
I don't think that's the full description, what I posted. I feel like there's more to it than that.
Nope, that is the full description. Greater
condition.
is the one with the more with the bigger description to it and more effects.
Yes, but it is a condition, and exhaustion is a condition. That's why. Remember correctly.
So, give me. You're a ranger, so let's make it a nature check to accompany this spell. See if you can tweak it slightly as you're casting it to allow it to do the thing that you want it to.
17.
17. Okay, so you lay your hands on Reen and cast your lesser restoration, trying to focus in on that mana scarring that is spreading across her skin. And as you look at her arm, before you cast it, you can see it slowly creeping down her arm. And as you're casting the spell and trying to focus in on it, you see the scarring slow a little bit. Doesn't stop entirely, but what you just did does seem to have, at the very least, slowed its pace a bit. And she sees what you're doing, and she gives you an appreciative nod.
You know what?
Go ahead.
I'd like to do that one more time to see if I can get more effect out of it.
Okay. So you can cast it again and give me another nature check.
In the dice tray, please, dice. Thank you. That's actually better. That's a 22.
A 22. Okay. So following what you did before and having at least a vague idea of what you need to do in order to improve the spell's effect, you focus in and kind of grip the area where you see on her body the scar originating, and you cast your lesser restoration, and you notice that the scarring now slows considerably. Again, it hasn't stopped, but whatever was going to happen when this scarring reached wherever it was looking to reach has now been delayed by a considerable amount of time.
That was the hope.
Yixis is
And-
gonna beckon
Go ahead.
Zax closer.
What can I help you with?
What's happening to Reen?
She'll be fine.
Tell me.
What looks like some scarring from the ley line and the energy flowing through her.
So Yixis is going to get a real determined look on his face and close his eyes, and he's going to try to focus on taking more of the burden. Don't know if he can, but he's going to try.
As he begins to focus in on this effort, give me an intelligence check.
Straight, no proficiency, anything.
Yep, just straight intelligence.
17.
17? Okay. You can make the assumption, after hearing what's happening and having observed Reen for the duration of this ritual, and now partaking in it yourself and feeling the energy flowing through you, that what she's doing is essentially using herself as an arcane focus, which is not something that is done in modern magic. Modern magic does not use living creatures as the foci or even the material components. Give me a history roll. See if you've read more about this.
That's how. 22.
22. Okay, yeah. You know a little bit about this. And actually, the information that you know, you learned very recently, thinking back to the studying that you've done in that journal that you found. There was talk in that journal about types of magic that used living beings as the material and focal components of that magic. Not in the way that, say, necromancy uses bodies or certain other types of magic uses souls. This was drawing directly from the life force of these creatures, and thinking about that and seeing the magic that Reen was doing earlier in the previous day to heal everyone, that kind of tracks with what you're seeing her do now. And in that book, the parts that you were able to translate, you don't have the full history of it yet, but there was mention of a movement within parts of the world to eliminate that type of magic from being used, simply because it was too dangerous for both the caster and also the people around the caster. It was a very volatile type of magic, but was also very powerful. And with that information, if you still want to proceed with your attempt to try and draw some of that away from her, you can give me an Arcana roll.
Yes, I will, but I'm gonna do something first. I'm gonna change it just a little bit. wanting to also try to bring a little bit more stability to it. I'm going to take my platinum coin, the +1 focus. I'm going to put it in my paw, my right paw, the one that's facing towards Reen. And with that in my paw, I'm going to then clasp her hand, well, her wing.
She has both.
Whatever is pointing towards Yixis and
Her hand.
conducting the flow towards him. And he's hoping it'll act as a bridge and bring a material arcane focus to help stabilize it.
Okay. So with that in mind, let's see if she notices what you're doing first. Oh yes, she does. My dice are rolling like your dice. She doesn't want you to do this because she doesn't want you to get hurt. So if you want to proceed with this, it will be an opposed Arcana roll, and you can roll with advantage.
I will.
Okay.
Okay, well, thank you for the advantage. That's going to be a 25.
A 25? Okay. She rolled a 20, a dirty 20. So she did not win the opposed roll.
So he'll
Zarex,
just look at her in the eyes, trying to give her, like, it's okay.
Yeah. Zarex, with your proximity to this, you can kind of watch as this happens, and you can see what was previously a beam of energy connecting Reen and Yixis is now kind of a soft glow as their hands wrap around each other, and the light, the very faint light from this mana scarring that is on Reen's arm seems to fade a little bit from her as Yixis makes this connection and defeats her essentially in this Arcana roll. And give me a perception check, Zarex.
Not great. 12.
12 will be enough because you're like right there. As the light fades from her mana scarring, the scarring remains, and there's still a bit of light there, but just definitely not as strong as it was before. You see a very faint crack of light appear on Yixis's wrist. And Yixis, you are going to take 5 points of lightning damage as some of this scarring appears on your arm, though it is a very small amount. And for the time being, it doesn't feel painful. It is not a persistent amount of damage. It is merely a mark of the channeling that you are doing.
And
Isa.
I'll close my eyes and just continue to focus.
Okay. Isa, I need a wisdom saving throw from you.
Oh, God. It's not my most good roll.
You
but
casters,
we'll see.
stop trying to blow yourselves up, please, for 5 minutes.
It's not bad. That's a 15.
A 15? Okay. We will find out what that was about after we come back from our second break. So we are going to just get up and step away for a couple minutes, stretch our legs, get some drinks. We'll be right back in just a couple minutes.
Very foreboding.
I
Oh,
don't know about you.
And we are back.
Welcome back.
Doesn't matter what color you're wearing.
Yeah, exactly.
I was listening to your cat talk. I heard it all.
You don't know.
So, welcome back, everyone. Isa, it was a 15 that you rolled, right?
Correct.
Correct. Okay. So, as you stand there, observing your companions, quite literally giving their life in order to help you, attempt to save you, you feel something that you haven't felt in quite a while. And that is the absence of a little tick that's been in the back of your mind since that fateful day that good old leader of the party, Zara, brought you back from the dead.
Mazar, just claim the title. Fish, make it official.
But it's not gone completely. As you realize that the constant tick is no longer there, you feel what is almost like a clawing in the back of your mind instead, as though something is trying to keep its presence there, but is being pushed out.
He is mentally flipping it off.
Give me an intelligence save.
Oh, shit. 17?
17, okay. Rolling really bad on my damage today. You're going to take 1 point of psychic damage as you give this sensation a few mental vulgarities, let's say, in an effort to bid it farewell. But the ritual is still going on, and for the time being, that clawing is persisting. However, it is the first sign that you have had since the start of this ritual that something is actually happening here. It is doing perhaps what it is intended for.
And she's probably just got this big splitting grin on her face as she was doing those mental vulgarities. Probably a little creepy to watch from the outside. Just kind of a similar battle grin that she gives when she's going into fight.
Zara, give me a perception check.
Where's my character sheet? Perception, you say? That will be an 18.
An 18? Okay. So after the chaos of the previous surge dies down and your companions kind of gather their composure once again, you're observing the ritual, looking back and forth between each of them, and you happen to notice with that perception check that the fungal growths that were emerging from the wounds on Isa are beginning to shrivel and decay, and some of them even sloughing off to the ground below. Though from the distance that you are currently at, you can't get much more of an inspection beyond that.
I think even seeing that, she's going to give like a sigh of relief. Thankful that this seems to be helping and is just not another lost cause like the rest of their journey has been.
Okay. And is Xena and Xerax doing anything in particular while you approach the end or potential end of this ritual?
Just keeping a close eye on the perimeter, listening for any kind of signs of change or activity in the area beyond what, us and Shadow Mountain Man Dragon
I'm
Drake thing.
Doing basically the same thing. I've done everything I can to help them magically, so.
Okay.
Xena will
As
take a moment to give them encouragement, though. Just a little hurrah, like, you guys got this.
Xena's form of inspiration.
Yeah. Just, excited yipping. We're almost done. You're almost there.
I want a well-cooked meal after this is done.
You got it. It's gonna be super delish.
I would like to nominate Xena for an honorary level in Bard.
Just that glory that
And
emanates
it
off of her.
tracks.
I mean, she has literally made all of us start saying glorious outside of the game.
She really has.
This is a new word in my vocabulary.
Saying honorary Bard. Just saying.
Still one of my favorite character designs too. All that gold. Oh, it's beautiful.
College of Glamour.
Mhm.
Yes.
So
Whatever the
as
drag queen like College of Bards is, that's where she's at.
well, it's the College of Drag, clearly.
Yeah, College
Yeah.
of Drag. There's Xena.
As the minutes press on, you do notice that the Drake seems to meander southward a bit and sit down, kind of observing the path that you guys took to go up the mountain to this point. Whether it's just sitting there because it has nothing else to do or sitting there to guard the path, whatever's not really evident, but it's just kind of meandering around at the moment. Looking a little bit still dissatisfied with how bright it is outside, but not noteworthy otherwise. And as we approach the final hour of the ritual, there is a bright pulse from high up in the sky, not directly where the ley line rests, but near it. And there's kind of a familiarity to this pulse, at least for you, Xerax. There's a familiarity. But you can't quite put your finger on what it is just from observing alone. Oh God, I just turned on the cup warmer on my desk and burnt my thumb. I'm not a smart man.
Oh no.
I'm gonna go ahead and move that mug over there, move that over there so it doesn't happen again.
I only applaud because I've done the same thing. Observational.
How big is it? Is it?
It's hard to tell from here because it was a pulse of light up in a sky that's lit up by the sun. There's no real cloud cover or anything at the moment, but it looks like it was fairly high up and it was bright enough to be observable from where you are.
Okay.
Okay.
Will take her
Well.
axe out and grip it.
We're going to do my favorite thing. Detect planar portals.
That's beginning to be one of my favorite things as well. Let's see, that is
Oh,
within
God.
1 mile of you.
It's not a good thing.
I mean, it is the ultimate paranoia button. It's like, what is it?
So you focus in with your ability to detect portals, and you don't immediately detect anything in the vicinity. But as you sit there and focus in on it further and take in all of your surroundings, you begin to detect the trace of what was supposed to be a portal, perhaps. As though a portal began to open, but was quickly shut down by some unknown force. It is, or was rather, a failed portal. And the trace that you're getting from it seems to match with the trace of the portal that you detected that led to one of the celestial planes back in the desert. Oh, this one again, failed to open for whatever reason.
Interesting.
Xena's gonna shout, "Is that us?"
I hope not, unless someone here was trying to rip open a portal to the celestial plane again.
Why would we do that?
Someone here's done that before?
Euxis is just over there shaking his head furiously.
We've had them around us before. No one's tried to open one. Have you? No? All right. It was a failed one, but I look over at Reen. Thoughts?
It wasn't me.
What
Those are
about the
good
Drake?
thoughts. Look at the Drake.
And he's looking in the completely opposite direction as though he didn't even notice the attempted portal above you.
And this is why dragons end up extinct.
Did you say that out loud?
No.
I had to ask.
Well, glorious then. Whatever it was didn't make it, and it ran in fear already. It
Or-
barely smelled us and was like, "Nope."
Or it's somewhere else.
Why?
Still not our problem.
I'm pretty sure it ran away in fear of our gloriousness, and it probably saw the dead bodies around us and was like,
We aren't
Yeah,
that
peace out.
lucky.
"I think so. I'm
Xeris,
going with that."
Can you tell where it originated from?
Point.
Thank you, Xerix.
Just pointing straight up, basically going, yeah.
Are you guys almost done? I want to go hunting.
We're starting to
At
get
this point-
excessive weirdness here.
At this point, you all feel the rumbling of the Drake's footsteps as it approaches the group and kind of observes for a moment, some of you looking up at the sky, and it looks up at the sky. What are you looking at?
The failed planar portal to the celestial plane.
Did you fail to open one?
It wasn't
No.
us.
We don't intentionally run around opening portals, or even accidentally, usually.
Pretty sure whatever it was ran in fear of us.
It's not one of yours, is it?
No. As I mentioned yesterday, the world is in turmoil. Portals fail because they cannot be opened at the moment.
Oh,
That's
did we
did-
come in
strange.
on one?
Did some random celestial just get like Stargate killed? Because the door to the other side wasn't open?
I'm going to intervene. Whack. Celestial into a glass door.
Yep.
Close the iris.
We just hear this faint thunk, 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 thunk.
Pretty much.
Like a moth
There's a
on the
whole lot
outside
of
of a
misting
window.
going on today.
It is one of the things I have been observing lately. First, the shadow roads, and now portals to other planes. It's curious.
Sounds like less shit to deal with.
Sounds like trouble. But not trouble for me, as I am afraid it is time that I part ways with my new friends. It is too bright out for me.
Thank you for shielding us as long as you could.
It was my pleasure. Do not forget to spread that wealth around on my behalf. And I would appreciate it if you do not speak of this place to anybody. It is not that I cannot deal with any interlopers. I just do not wish to expend the energy. Good luck to all of you and your ritual. And the drake takes a few steps back as its body suddenly apparates into a cloud of black smoke, which dissipates slowly on the air, and any trace of the drake even being there in the first place disappears with it.
You're muted. Still muted.
Nope.
It looks like it's a microphone mute, not a Zoom mute. But as we proceed from here, the ritual is very, very close to its end. And there are some final rolls that need to be done. First, I need to make one for Reem. Okay. I need Gixis to give me first a Constitution saving throw.
Uh, 18.
18. Okay. And follow that up with an intelligence saving throw.
Testing.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
It
That's,
wasn't important what I said.
That's a 19.
A 19. Okay. And finally, an Arcana check.
That is going to be a 25.
25. Okay. Those are all very good numbers. Now,
I'm
I
glad to hear
need
it.
Isa to make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Dirty 20.
Okay. Now make a Wisdom saving throw for me.
Well,
Okay. And an Charisma saving throw for me.
oh. Well, I rolled a 3 on the die. My charisma is a -2. That's a 1.
But at least it's not a nat 1.
Marked difference between the two.
Yeah.
So, Gixis, are you still holding hands with Reen? Okay. So you feel that platinum coin clasped between your hands get hotter and hotter and hotter. And you look up and see this beam of light that is coming down and being channeled through Reen goes from this kind of warbling lightning bolt type shape into almost a solid column of light. And the mana scarring that is on Reen begins to glow very, very brightly. And that same blue glow that's coming from it lights up deep within her eyes as well. And you see the scarring that has encroached on your arm quickly, very quickly, spread all the way down your arm to your elbow. And you feel the sensation of the heat in your hand begin to burn you as you take 5 fire damage from the heat of the coin itself. But curiously, that heat seems to turn into an icy cold sensation as that scarring travels up your arm and through you. And you feel that it is about to have almost an explosive burst from your other hand in the direction of Isa. And practiced at this now, at this point, you do your best to mitigate it, to stop as much of the damage as you possibly can from inflicting Isa with whatever is about to come her way. And with the Arcana roll that you did, you successfully channel some of it through the ground beneath your feet, but it is an immense amount of energy, more than you've felt before, more than you've read about before. It's unreal, and it bursts outwards from you. I need Zara, Subira, Xena, and Xerax to all give me dexterity saving throws.
21.
Okay.
22.
Okay.
9.
9. All right. And where's the other one? Subir is the other one that's right there. Let's see, what is her dex?
Xena was a
Yeah, I
blank
was just
touch
reading if
attention.
there's any abilities that apply. There aren't, I don't think.
Don't think so.
Xena's too busy lamenting the fact that she let a dragon-like creature go without fighting
It's
it.
fair.
It's just killing her inside right now.
Subira got a 22.
22. Okay. So all of you are knocked back 10 feet and take 7 points of force damage from this explosive burst of energy, though most of you manage to hold your footing. Xena, you're a little bit distracted, lamenting the loss of this foe, and you do end up being knocked prone, but I mean, you stand right back up. There was a possibility that this was going to happen during a fight, so prone was an aspect. Not really an issue outside of combat. And this energy, the damage from most of it mitigated thanks to Yixis, does still make its way through this channel and slams directly into your chest, Isa. And you automatically fail the dexterity save from that. You are knocked back 10 feet, and your back slams into this rock that is there. You are going to take 15 points of bludgeoning damage as your head kind of cracks back, and everyone can hear the sound of skull hitting rock. It is not a pleasant sound. Thankfully, that wisdom save was not any lower than it actually was, because that would have been very bad. And as your head makes contact with this stone, Isa, all you can feel, aside from the searing pain in the back of your head, is that clawing sensation in your mind. And it feels as though it is being dragged further and further away. This sensation is growing dimmer and dimmer, and there is an amount of rage almost that is attributed to it that you're feeling, but it's most definitely not your rage. It is the rage of some other being that is losing its grip on you. And as you try and clear all other sensations and focus in on this, perhaps to throw a few more vulgarities in its direction, you realize that it is not just a single source of rage. It is two. two separate sources that are being pulled out of your mind and further away from you. And it feels almost as though this cage that you have been trapped in since your resurrection, this hold that has been on you, is suddenly released. And now these sensations, this rage, this clawing feeling, these entities have been locked in that cage. They are still there. They are present, but it is you who is now in control. And then you pass out as you lose consciousness, and everyone on the outside observing this sees Isa slowly close her eyes, perhaps a bit of a smile on her face. And you see as well the light from the ritual circle that has been present since your arrival here fades as well, as the energy connecting Isa to Yixis, to Reen, to the ley line high above fades along with it. And Yixis, you feel a hand on your shoulder. You look over and you see it's Reen's hand, and she's smiling at you. And she simply says, "Ritual done." And she collapses to her knees, falls to the ground, also unconscious. And the ritual is now over.
Zara's going to go over to Isa to make sure there's no extra holes in the back of her head at the moment.
Okay. Not even going to make you roll medicine on this because it's fairly obvious. You go over and inspect her, and there is blood on the back of her head where it made contact with the stone. There is a wound, but like her head is fully intact, so that's always nice.
Then she's going to cast Cure Wounds on it to stop any further damage from spreading.
You see, as you cast that spell, the wound in the back of her head does very quickly close up, and the bleeding ceases.
It's going to be 8 returned HP.
Thank you.
Xena's gonna go over to Reen and just pick her up.
Easy enough. She weighs almost nothing.
After Reen did her fall down, Ex is probably just gonna really quickly look at his paw that had the coin and probably also fall unconscious.
So as you look at the coin in your hand, do you keep the coin in your hand or do you remove it from your hand?
He'll look at it and then close his hand back around it.
Okay.
Xena picks his Yixis up as well. Just kind of gently puts them over each shoulder. Walks over and looks at Isa. She okay?
She had a wound on the back of her head, but we took care of it. She'll probably wake up with a headache.
Do you think we should stay here? I remember talk of things being attracted to here, and we've got 3 people down.
We don't really have the means of safe travel at the moment.
We could not be here. Could travel
Agreed.
lower.
Agreed.
Get some
As you
shelter.
say that, Xerax, give me a perception check with advantage.
Maybe there's some caves or something nearby. I'll kill whatever's in it and we'll just go in.
24 with advantage.
Okay. As your companions are talking about things potentially being attracted to this area, you hear what almost sounds like a growl far off in the distance to the south. And the south is where you know the path up the mountain is. It's quite distant, but it was very obviously something, and something was almost familiar about it.
And I think this would be a good spot.
Well, I mean, it really depends on what the source of that growl is. You know that you are quite high up on the mountain, and the path that you guys walked along to get here goes up the mountain. So, depending on how far away this growl was, the creature that made it, you might be able to catch a glimpse of whatever it is before it gets even anywhere close to you guys, assuming it's even coming this way.
So there's no way
So-
down.
There is just that one path down, or if you wanted to go the very treacherous way, you could try to follow your javelin.
Not recommended. How
Considering that a
far
lot.
away is the? How far would I probably have to go to get a look down this path to see what that noise would have been?
Not very far. Just referring back to the battle map that we've been on this whole time, just at the very bottom of that map, you'd be able to get a good look down a fair bit of the path.
I'm going to basically run over and have a look.
Okay. Give me another perception check as you look down the path.
12?
12. You don't see anything. Not with a 12. That growling sound, there didn't seem to be anything more beyond that. It wasn't a continuous sound. It was almost like the sound that a creature would make if it took some unexpected damage. Not a huge amount of damage. It's kind of like an oof almost.
Xerix, what are you looking for?
Whatever that noise was,
What noise?
that growl. Am I the only one that heard this?
You're the only one that heard this.
The noise, the growling that came from down the hill, down that path,
Oh, down?
down.
There's a growl coming from down.
See.
Ah, I wanted to go down. All right. Here, take the little ones. I'll go kill
Unless
it.
you skewered something with your javelin when you threw it and it's now just angry about it.
I'll be back. Here. Take the little ones.
You're not going alone. I'll go
I'll
with
be
you.
fine.
No. You're not going alone.
I'll be fine.
Or to the point if we could just watch this way up, because it seems to be the only way up.
But we need
You know what it is? Did you get sight of it?
No, unfortunately I didn't.
We need to get away from here.
I'll protect you guys and get my javelin back, and I'll be back.
Tina.
What? If it's
Going-
distracted by me, then we'll get the little ones.
Yeah, and then if we lose you, then what?
You're not gonna lose me. Look at me. Come on. I'm fine.
For now,
I got this.
you tend to throw caution to the wind.
We could also
I
just
didn't fight the Drake.
wait until Isa's back on her feet.
It's gonna be upon us by then. Or
And-
it'll run away with my javelin.
Are you heading towards the path as you're having this conversation, Xena?
I am, yes.
Okay.
And
When you get
Zara's,
to-
Zara's following like right behind her, trying to pull her back.
When you get to the point, because, I mean, you are, I assume, significantly stronger than a one-armed druid, you are able to continue moving. And when you get to about where Xerix is, you can look down the path and give me a perception check, just like he did.
Okay. It's 15.
15. Okay. The DC on that was 14. So Xerix was very close. Standing there, looking down the path, alert to dangers as you often are. You are squinting and focusing on whatever might be showing up in the distance. And you watch for a few moments before you see movement. Long, long ways down the path. But there's very obviously movement there. And as you watch it, you see that this movement comes close enough that you can discern that it is humanoid figures. There is a very tall one among them, one that is a few feet shorter than the tallest, and a third that is much, much shorter than the other two. The third seems to be walking alongside the one that is of medium height, and it's hard to tell from this distance, but it looks like the shortest one is holding the hand of the medium height one.
Do I see my javelin?
You do not see your javelin.
Well, looks like there's just some I can't tell what they are. It's not monsters, people type down there. Gotta get closer. Maybe they know where my javelin is.
Leave your javelin for now.
Well,
We-
maybe they need help. One of them looks like it's limping or something. Maybe they'll
We
like
need you. We are 3 people down. We can't lose our strongest fighter.
fine. She'll turn around and walk back begrudgingly.
Try to play to the ego.
If Isa was conscious, she'd
worked.
be offended. I don't disagree with the statement. Isa would.
She knows that. She's like, oh yeah, they need me. So are we staying here then, or are we gonna
If
try to
it's,
get some cover somewhere?
if it's 3 of them, I would like to get out of the general vicinity just in case anything else is being headed this way because of the light or the magic that was recently emanating from you. At least
That's
get
what-
some cover for us.
That's what I was thinking. Xerix, you're usually good at finding the shit. Go do your thing.
Go do my thing.
I'll be here doing mine.
Yeah, just go do the thing. Very descriptive.
There's people coming.
Just go to sleep,
Yeah,
little one.
Yeah, just rest, pup. We'll keep you covered.
You're fine. She's gonna scoop him up like a little one again and throw him over her shoulder. Shh. It's okay. Just sleep. You did good. You did good. You're real strong. Now get some rest.
I can make the hut again.
You're muted.
You're muted.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you scoop them up over your shoulder and you start walking back towards the main camp area, which Yixis gives you sight of the path leading down the mountain. You can give me a perception check if you'd like.
Not one of my good ones, but let's see how my luck holds out.
I mean, the closer they get, the lower the DC, right? So
13.
13. What did I say the DC was? 14?
14. Yeah.
Yeah, it's only been a couple of moments. So
But you said the closer they get.
I did say the closer. Okay, so
One
you
step
see
doesn't
movement. You see movement far off in the distance down the trail. You can't discern any real shapes while you are thrown over a shoulder and being hauled back to camp.
Cast dimension door, 500 feet that direction.
No. Zara, do you want to take a look, see if you see something? Know what we're up against? I couldn't quite make out what kind of things
Why
they were.
not?
Yeah, Rojan, why not?
What could
Come on, leader.
possibly go wrong?
Just all these Gnoll heads popping up and down over the edge.
You said
While
perception,
she's
right?
doing that, I'm gonna pick up Reen again. So I have both of the little ones again.
Yeah, perception.
Natural 24.
Natural 20 for a 24.
I'm probably not gonna like what I see.
You're definitely not going to like what you see. So as Xena gathers your companions together, you take a moment to stand at the top of this mountain path, looking down, focusing in on these figures that Xena had pointed out to you. You recognize them, if not for any reason other than the very obvious height difference between each of them and the large pointed pair of silhouette that sits atop their heads that look very, very much like ears that all of you have sitting atop your heads. The height of one of these figures means it could only possibly be one person. That person is your matriarch. And on that note, we are going to end for today. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, especially for the full duration of this ritual. This had so many different paths it could have gone down, and I think it went down one of the better ones. Thank you to the players, especially to Tam, for literally just sitting in one spot doing nothing for the last 3 sessions. That was a very trying thing, I'm sure, not just for the character but for the player as well. But you all came out of this in one piece, all together, all alive, and I feel like you have, for the most part, accomplished what you set out to accomplish. So before next session, everyone can go ahead and level up their characters.
Hey.
How many demon lords did we
Yeah.
upset this week?
2.
And now I'm just sitting
And a
here wondering
matriarch.
how much fuckery she can do with these demon lords still caged in her head.
Yep. Tune in next week for Zara's death.
Yeah. So next session is going to be an interesting one. I'm glad that it worked out that this event happened at the end of this session, because I really hope that everyone can be here for the talk with the matriarch, unless you all flee, which is an option.
The talk, yeah.
I want to run.
Just please let Eva wake up.
I don't want Rin to die. I'm worried about the bird.
Save the bird.
Yeah, I know that's the whole thing. Is Zara's just gonna shield the bird from her.
And if Isa's awake, you know where Isa's gonna be.
You've got a week to think about your tactics. But in the meantime, this is most certainly not the only show that we have on this channel. Every Mondays at 7:30 p.m. Pacific, we have this show right here, Gnoll Way Out. And every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Pacific, we have Destiny Forged, which is, at this point, I think it's fair to say I don't want to say main show on this. It's been the longest running show on this channel, especially counting campaign 1. That show has been ongoing. That world has been persistent pretty much since the start of this channel, almost. That campaign is now in year 3 and hopefully still has a lot left before we find the end. But hey, that group is just as irresponsible as this group here, so it literally could end any session. We also have on Saturdays, alternating every other Saturday, we have Withered Wastes, and we also have Wayward Wanderers, which is a departure from the D&D. Wayward Wanderers is in fact a Pathfinder 2 campaign running the Extinction Curse module, right? Pretty sure that's what it is.
It's Extinction Hearse.
And we also now have another show that we can officially add to the roster. Just last Saturday, we had episode 2 of our dedicated lore show, Behold Lore. That show airs the first Saturday of every month at 5:30 p.m. Pacific. And aside from being available here on Twitch and on our YouTube channel, that show specifically is also available in podcast format. You can find it on any major podcasting platform by searching for Behold Lore. So thank you again to everyone who stuck through this very lengthy ritual. I'm excited for what's to come, and we will see you tomorrow.